It's getting fucking longer and longer every time.
What's up, pal? How you feeling, my friend? I know you weren't feeling well.
I think Mikey got you sick.
Yeah,
got me
we
sick.
we just were passing that shit around the whole
Yeah,
house.
dude, it's going around.
But
I'm feeling a lot better.
yeah, I mean, thank God myself as well.
Got to get back into routine.
We got Mr. John Hawk with us again today. Hi, John. And we also have Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Say hello.
Hey, what's up,
What's
guys?
up, Brandon?
How are you? We brought Brandon on. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, damn it! I'm so slow. Oh, wait, ready? Hold on.
What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon.
Hey.
Hey. sorry, gentlemen. Yeah, I figured bring you on. Your how old are you, Brandon?
21.
Brandon's 21 in recovery for how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
At
So,
21 years old.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
you recognize early in life. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, Brandon?
Okay.
He's got to warm up.
Yeah.
I would like to drink.
Okay.
I had a drink and it solved everything.
Mm-hmm.
Solved everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solved everything. And I remember I went to my father's house and I just cracked open a beer and he was listening to rock and roll music.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, boom. I was just like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm doing now. I'm going to drink, I'm going to play music, and I'm going to get a bunch of girls.
I become a rock star.
And become a rock star. Yeah.
That's, well, yeah. First you get the, no, Dad, I'm sorry.
No, and then really what happened was it was just, I ended up in my room with, beer cans all over the place, papers all over the place, bags all over the place, little plastic baggies. And, I was just playing guitar on my broken bed frame. And, there was no girls around.
No.
There was no girls.
No.
And,
That happens.
I was just like shy. I couldn't even play the guitar right. I was singing like crap, and it was just like, is this it? Is this what I'm gonna do now for the rest of my life? Like I couldn't even get a job or a girl or like a car, nothing. It was just, and my family they were like, I didn't even know it till now, but my family was like talking about me the whole time. Like, Brandon's just doing drugs now.
Really?
And like just drinking all the time. I didn't find out till later.
Let me ask you a question before you go any further. You said when you first cracked that can, you had that I had a ride.
Yeah.
What were you feeling like before that? Like,
What?
how was life before that?
What made you do that transition, I think John's
what
trying to
were you
ask.
feeling like before?
I mean, in school I was just like always getting in trouble. I
Wow.
couldn't do my homework. They put me on Vyvanse. It's like this prescribed drug.
It's like Adderall.
For
I was on it.
ADHD.
They prescribed that shit to
Wow.
me, too.
And I remember being like,
Don't tap your leg on that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
remember being like a kid, and the doctor had all these like wires hooked up to my head and stuff to see what was going on, and they diagnosed me with ADHD, and then next thing you know, I'm taking pills like every day for school.
As a
As a young, yeah, like a kid, like
Medicated.
Medicated, yeah. And one day I was just like I never even felt right taking. I never wanted to take these in the
Drugs.
first place, And then one day I was like 15, and I was just like, I'm not taking these anymore.
I'm making the adult decision.
Yeah. I'm not taking these anymore. And the withdrawal was insane, bro. I was like in school, and I was just like,
from the medication.
bro, yeah.
That's
And
interesting.
everybody in school was just like, what the hell's going on with this kid? Yo, people were surprised that I remembered my name. Like, that's how bad it was, I was like going around telling people, oh, Jesus Christ, wearing two different
You went into like a psychosis?
like wearing 2 different pairs of shoes. Like it was bad. It was bad. And I had the kids make fun of me or whatever, and you know, my dad was like, you know, he's drank a lot too, you know what I mean? And, you know, there was like a falling out in the house. And I was just like, yo, what the hell's going on here? And then I went to my dad's house, and then it was, you know, the rock and roll, and I'm going to get girls, and it was just like, boom, I arrived with the drink.
Okay.
That's really what that's about.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So you in your room, baggies all over the place, can't stop drink.
Yeah.
That's your rock bottom.
Yeah. I got,
Is that the first time you noticed that I need to change, I need help?
Oh, no, there was a bunch of times.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was several times
Okay.
that I started noticing. You know?
Okay. And what's the when did you get introduced to like the program or recovery or?
I mean, you just talked about it. I sniffed Ajax like the
You tell that story.
And,
So yeah, can you?
Oh, no.
I'd like you to clarify on that one.
Yeah, we need yeah.
you know that movie Cheech and Chong?
Of course.
Right? There's a scene.
There's more than one, but yes.
The first one, the original one.
Yes.
There's a scene
Up in smoke or whatever.
where the girl takes like Chong is playing with Ajax or whatever, pretending it's cocaine. And then the girl comes, she's like, "Where you been all my life?" And she sniffs the whole line of Ajax. You know what I mean?
And you
Well, that makes
thought.
sense now that he got that idea.
And I was just, I was watching this movie with my dad since I was like 3. You know what I mean? And one day I was just like, I saw the Ajax. I was like, yeah, fuck. Yeah. So I just tried it. And
What the fuck happened when you did that?
I was like so blasted already that like it just didn't, my nose stung a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I just didn't die.
That's good. That's good. Wow, that's crazy.
So I told a family member this story, and it turns out that they were in recovery.
Mm.
And they brought me to my first meeting, and I was like, 18.
Okay.
And you know, the guy, it was weird. I was in there, I got a 24-hour coin, and you know, there was this guy looking at me, like a tear went down my eye when the speaker shared. And,
Okay.
this guy was like looking at me like he knew what I was feeling. Like he was just looking at me like he knew what was up.
Mhm.
You know? And I was just, the speaker was like, he wanted to jump in front of a car. He was like, that's not gonna happen to me. You know? And then yeah, it's just, that was in between. I was introduced to AA before I was in my room by myself playing
Okay.
guitar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I ignored the
Yeah.
fact that
Okay.
it was going on.
Mhm.
You know?
So
And
the seed was planted.
the seed was planted like maybe a year before,
Okay.
like the end.
Mhm.
You know, and
And you kept going on your journey, snorting Ajax and eating your bologna sandwich wrappers all over the place.
But did you think you could just handle your? Did you notice that you had a problem?
yeah, actually, when I was in my room by myself, I was already in outpatient at the time.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
COVID was going on.
Oh, okay.
And I would call the counselor, but yeah, I'm drunk again.
Yeah.
I'm high again, blah, 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 blah. And I got a letter in the mail. My mom was like, here's this letter from your outpatient. And at the time, I stopped picking up the phone. You know, and at that moment, when I was in my room playing the guitar or whatever,
Yeah.
I get a phone call from the counselor, you know, because we weren't going to the place anymore. It was just phone calls.
Yeah.
Right.
And for some reason, I picked up the phone call and I'm talking to her. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm drunk again. You know? And she was like, maybe you should try inpatient, you know?
Mhm.
And I was like, all right. I hung up the phone. And for some reason, I decided to open the letter. And the letter said if I didn't pick up the next phone call, that I was going to get discharged from outpatient.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
And I just picked it up. I picked up the phone call right before I read the letter.
Yeah.
And the lady told me to go to inpatient. And I was like, I guess I might as well go.
It's a good idea.
I was like, nothing else to lose, you know?
So 28 days you went.
No, I actually started going on the Zoom meetings
Okay.
starting that day.
That's right. This is during COVID.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I went on the Zoom meetings that day. And then I don't know what happened, but it was like working for whatever amount of time. You know, I was just doing the Zoom probably for like a week. You know, I was making the phone calls or whatever. And, you know, somebody gave me a book. My family member, he gave me a book, and, you know, I could barely read a sentence out of this thing. You know what I mean? I was just still like, I didn't have any physical things happen to me, but my mind was just
Yeah.
like insane. insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the guitar store and I bumped into these two guys. And I didn't think anything of it. And I bumped into them again. Exchanged phone numbers. Oh, we want to make music together. And then I was like, yeah, we can make music, but I'm going away in like a month. And
Wow.
the two guys are like, yeah.
It's a pretty big window to be a rock star.
And then he's like, where you going? The two guys are like, where you going, dude? Where you going? And I'm like, yo, I'm going to rehab. And the guy was like, yo, I have a commitment at the rehab you're going to. And
Oh, one of the two guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, what the hell is a commitment? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're committed too?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah. That's funny.
And then,
So I remember this a little bit from when you shared that meeting. So after that, when that happened, right? That guy, when you got out, you said he took you to meetings.
yeah, he took me to meetings. It was more like a drug thing
Mhm.
instead of the alcohol.
So you had a tough time relating.
A little bit.
Okay.
But, it was like, there was, I just did a bunch of acid in the woods. These guys, it was like, I'm shooting this so I can come down, I'm shooting this so I can come up.
Yeah.
And,
Oh wow.
and I'm
Okay.
sitting there and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I'm not-
You know what I mean?
Who are these guys, right?
And,
That's how you want to drink and do acid.
Yeah.
Man.
And be a rock star and get all the girls.
so I figured, like, you know what, man? Like, if these guys are doing it, like, I don't think I have an excuse.
Right.
You know?
Listen, dude, that's pretty bold to pick up, especially where you were at in life, how young you are, and figuring that out. That's pretty intense, actually. Now that I think about it. But sorry to interrupt you, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. And, I just was like, the guy was trying to take me through the steps. So the guy I met in the guitar store.
Sure.
And it was just like, he had me like circle all the words in the book that I didn't understand. And I didn't understand every other word. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't do this. And reading a chapter at a time. And I was like, I can't, bro. I'm like, I was still like
Gotcha.
in the fog, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And I was like, man, I'm just gonna go to rehab, right? And I remember meeting a guy at one of those meetings, and he was actually more on the alcohol thing. And all the guys were like, why are you going to rehab, man? You're here, you're going to the meetings, you're going through the steps. Like, what's your deal? Why are you going a month sober to rehab? And that one guy I'm talking about that I met, he was just the only guy that was like, go ahead. Like, go to the rehab, man. You know a little bit about, recovery.
Yeah.
Why don't you go over there and be useful? I was like, what? Be useful? What is this guy talking about? And I ended up going for a month. And, I was there and, everybody was good at chess.
In rehab?
In rehab.
That's awesome.
Everybody was good at ping pong.
We played dominoes.
We did. We learned how to play dominoes. Yeah.
Oh wait, they did play ping pong.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. They were braiding my hair. I had the long hair.
You did.
I remember that, Brandon.
And, it just, one kid was like, I'm 23. And this is my third birthday in this place.
Wow.
Bro.
What?
And I was like, this guy, at the time I was 19, I was like, this guy's only like 5 years older than me.
That's not good math, but go ahead.
Keep going.
That's all right.
And math is not a requirement.
Very good. Very good.
I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
And then I was just like, that could be me in a few years, man.
Yeah.
And insurance was giving out on me. Kind of said way too much there. It was just getting hectic. You know what I mean? I was just like, and at the time, that guy that told me to go, he was actually taking me through the steps on a tablet,
Okay.
like FaceTime. And I was like, I think it's time for me to get out of here. I think the reason why I'm here is dealt with. I think it's time to go. And I was just going to discharge. And that guy, he texted me. He was like, "Yo, let me know when you get out." So for some reason in my head, I thought he was gonna pick me up. And like,
Makes sense.
Like, mind you, you were like 2 hours east.
I was 2 hours east.
Right, you were like East Hampton. Or something.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
2 hours.
where'd you go to
east.
rehab? Seafield?
I went to Phoenix House.
Phoenix
The
House.
one out in like.
The Hamptons.
Yeah.
The Hamptons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Waynescott. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're out in the sticks. Huh?
Yeah. So I don't know why.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
texted me.
I'm
He's
leaving
like,
now.
And you're from
Where is this
Yeah,
guy?
Yeah. Well,
He has left. Yeah.
he was like, "Yo, let me know when you leave." I'm like, "I bet this guy's gonna pick me up," you know. And I run out and I hide by some church nearby, you know. And I call him. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "I can't pick you up." He's like, "Why don't you call like your family?" You know. I'm like, "Okay." So
Sounds good.
and
Your brother picked you up or something.
yeah, my brother. But I ended up calling the family member that was in the
In
was
the
in
rooms?
recovery. Yeah, in the rooms. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And talking to him for a while, just like to relax. And then, you know, my brother got in touch, and then he picked me up in like, it was like 15 minutes. He picked me up in like 15 minutes from like Bayshore. It was crazy. I was like, is this guy about to die for me right now? And it's funny because I remember one of those Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
There used to be this guy, and he would be like, I used to go to the gas station, and I used to buy beer all the time. Now I go to the gas station and I buy milk. You know, and I used to hate this guy. You know, I was like, this guy is like a jerk off. You know, and when my brother took me to the gas station, the first thing I bought was like a gallon of milk. And I was like, oh, this is kind of making sense.
Yes, that guy you was talking about.
Yeah, I was like, this guy.
But I usually still talk to the guys from the guitar store.
I do.
You're still sober?
They're, I mean, one of them's not.
Okay.
One of them is. They're on their own. One of them's not in the room,
Yeah.
so to say. You know, they're on their own thing. But you know, I work with one of them.
How'd you meet your sponsor then?
I met my sponsor at the meetings they took me to.
Oh, so they started taking.
He just happened to be in one of them, and he
okay.
was in what we're in.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, what made you get attracted to your sponsor? What was it that drew you to him?
Well, he told me he was going to give me a bag of mushrooms when I go through the. When I go.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, I'll get you high.
Yeah. He was like, if you do this honestly, you're open-minded and willing,
Yes, that's
and you
cool.
go through the work, and if it doesn't work, I'll get you a bag of mushrooms.
Okay. And you were like, wow, great.
And I was like,
This is
I don't think I
awesome.
have anything to lose.
No, not at all.
I want a free bag of mushrooms, you know. And then
You're saying I do these steps and they don't work. You'll give me a free bag of mushrooms. All right, I'll try it.
So there you go. And
So-
he said, I have nothing to lose. So you went.
Yeah.
You went and you did this thing called recovery.
But I think somewhere in my heart, I didn't want to either. I was kind of hoping it worked.
Of course.
The work in the rooms.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, if it doesn't work, I still have this option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But deep down, I was hoping it would work.
Right, right.
Um,
And it did,
and
obviously.
yeah, I'm here now, you know, with you guys.
2.5 years later.
2.5 years.
And now you do a lot of sponsoring. You run meetings.
Yeah.
So what are you doing then? What are you doing today?
Yeah,
What
so-
are you doing
I mean-
to stay sober today?
You know, my room's clean,
Yeah,
first
damn
of
right.
all. You know what I mean? Before I got here, it wasn't, you know, and, yeah, I've been getting a lot closer to my mom,
It's good.
you know, and, you know, our relationship was tough beforehand. Even my time in the rooms, it was tough. And, you know, my dad, like, I see my dad, but all of a sudden, like, it wasn't even me, like, this, because I used to drink with my dad all the time. Like, we used to get hammered. And,
Excuse
You
me.
used to party with your pop.
yeah, I used to party with him. Like, we used to.
Sex, drugs, and rock and
Yeah,
roll.
we used to get down, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, like, you know, I was having trouble in the beginning, like with the boundaries. and
With your
trying to
dad,
tell
yeah.
people, my dad, trying to tell what it was. And all of a sudden, like now, it's just like, he just knows what's up. He's like, all right, I can't call Brandon to hang out on a Saturday night, but maybe I could hit him up on a Sunday morning. Or like, I could hit him up in the weekdays, and he'll come over, sleep over.
He's like working around this.
Yeah, he's working around my, and he just sees what I'm doing, you know, and he's like asking me about certain things, you know.
Awesome.
All right.
So let me. All right. So just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. So your dad is still actively
Yeah.
drinking, and how does that affect you now? Like, how did it? Like, does it bother you to see your dad drinking, or did you have trouble with it, but you're okay with it now? Like, how did that transition happen? How are you okay with it today? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had trouble because there was one point where it was like I walked into his house 6 months sober and it was getting real, and like I was in a position where like I had to roll him weed for him to calm down, you know what I mean? And then over time I was like, I don't need this, bro, and I started backing off, right? But I would still go over his house and see him, and
You just, I'm not interviewing.
Yeah,
We
please.
spoke about it. We've talked.
Oh, yeah,
we've talked
bro.
about it. He took suggestions. We were like, hey, maybe you shouldn't, because his parents are divorced, so he would stay with mom one night.
So you're staying less.
Oh.
Maybe you go see your dad, but just maybe don't sleep over.
yeah.
Like we, and that's what he did. Especially in the early recovery.
Yeah.
You used to drink
Yeah.
and party with this, your father. And next thing you know, you're trying to get sober, and now what? Now dad's still doing lines off the coffee table and has a case of beer there, and you're sleeping over. Like maybe you should. And he did, man. Brandon's on fire.
See,
He does it, man. He lives it.
To me, like, so traditionally, it's all right. So I grew up with a drinking father. I'm not gonna say my dad's a bullied and drunk or anything, whatever. What I'm saying is I grew up with someone that drinks in the house the whole time. So the transition is usually the father stops, the kids continue to go. It's just weird that it's amazing, not weird. It's amazing that in your situation,
It's a blessing.
your father's still running, and you have the mindset to be like, I'm not gonna be that guy. It's hard for younger people
Yeah.
to cut that cord, if you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying. That's why I find it fascinating that you're where you're at. I mean, we all joke around and stuff, but you know the book well, you go to meetings, you don't drive, correct?
No.
All right. You're starting a new meeting, actually.
Yeah.
By the way, when is that? Where is that?
That's 1572 Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
In Bay Shore.
Okay.
North Bay Shore, yeah.
In North Bay Shore.
And
And it's
Saturday?
called Get Your Step On.
Get Your Step On.
What day?
Saturday at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Okay. And that's going to start when?
January 7th.
And it's going to be every Saturday.
It's going to be every Saturday.
All right. And you're chairing that meeting.
No.
Oh.
I'm going to open the door and make coffee,
Yeah.
But he's
Oh, okay.
But
But it's your commitment.
We
Okay.
got other people that are going to chair and other people that are
Okay.
going to get into the business of it and the whole.
But it's like I said. So there's a point. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's normally not what happens. You understand what I'm saying, correct? Normally you'd be running, and your dad's finally going to be like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of this.
So that also ties into what I wanted to ask you too. So you're 22 years old.
21.
You're 21. You have 2.5 years sober.
Uh-huh.
So what I find too, because we have with young listeners as well, with the young guys, especially with social media and all this partying and drinking, it being in your face, do you ever deal with like fear of missing out? Or do you ever, or did you cut all people, places, and things? And how do you get through that?
Yeah, at one point,
I'm sorry.
I love it.
He came from work.
Yeah.
And in his work pants,
Well, I asked him.
he's
I'm
got
like,
a highlight on the pen.
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the
he's
book.
got a big book in
Yeah, of
where
course.
the big book is, and he's ready to read and highlight.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that earlier too. Yeah.
He's always ready to
Yeah.
open and crack that book,
absolutely.
no matter what. That's why I
Yeah.
tell everyone, bro. Brandon
Yeah.
is involved. He doesn't loiter in this
No.
program. He's at every other.
Yeah.
You see him, and no matter what meetings you're at, there he is.
So what do you-
Involved, he's reading.
So what do? You said you do. You do deal with fear of missing out.
no, well,
You don't.
it's not really like that now.
Okay.
But I say like around like a year and a half sober, like
Mhm.
from when I got in to
Yeah.
like around a year and a half,
Yeah.
it was this like I was just trying to keep up with like the long hair and the rock and roll and getting the girls still, and it was always in my head all the time. It was just the drink and the cocaine and the pot
Right.
wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And dude, I got into constant situations where like I was like running on like they call them defects of character,
hmm
right? I was just running on defects of character, and to the point where like I almost picked up when I turned 21.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like looking at every gas station ready to drink. I felt like I already drank. Like I had a drink. I felt it like in my.
Well, you now legally can at that point.
Yeah, I had the license ready. I was like, yo, this is. And I ended up going to somebody's house and slept over. They told me, you know, the old. I don't drink today. Drink tomorrow.
Yeah.
John might have said that.
Tomorrow.
So, and everybody else, like who you were using with, those people, you cut all ties, right?
Oh yeah, that was all. They were all like in their 40s, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guys in school, I wasn't really cool with. It was
Mhm.
like, you know, give me money, I get my stuff, and that was really the end of that.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, my friends in school, I was making music with them more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we would both buy our stuff. You know.
Brandon used to. We would go. We would go to Desert Dorado at 7:00 Saturday night, and then after that meeting, I would drop him at Main Street.
Bayshore?
He'd go busking. He could take his guitar in the summertime, and he would play his guitar for hours, and then would meet me at the midnight meeting. And he would come down to the midnight meeting, me, him, and all the guys who were down there. Like, so he, you know, they say like that fear of missing out. Man, he fit his
Mm-hmm.
life
Into
around
sobriety.
around
Yeah.
AA, you know,
Yeah.
or excuse me, I feeling it. He fit his life around recovery.
Well, AA's
No, it's
his
fine,
thing.
bro.
It's,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we do.
and that's what, you know, and
Yeah.
that's, he didn't just like, at least for me, it's from the outside and looking in and seeing where he is, because I've seen Brandon when he first came in, and I
Yeah.
see Brandon today, and it is not the same person who first came down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he looked like a lost puppy dog who was protecting his tail. Like he was like in the meetings, he was very like tense and he didn't know what to do. And he was very now he's all open. He's very open.
Yeah.
He's found himself. He's finding himself. You know,
Yeah.
he's a miracle. It's so I
Absolutely.
love watching Brandon, man. He
Absolutely.
really, I tell all the guys, man, especially the young
And he's an
people,
inspiration. I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
an inspiration to young people, man.
It can be done.
It can
all the young guys he hangs out with that are still struggling. I mean, the guys we know.
Yeah.
You're always having a good time with those guys.
Yeah.
You guys always going to young people's meetings, doing all that stuff.
I'm surprised there's not a book in his hand right
He actually, it's in my car. It's in my car. He said it earlier. He goes, "Should I go grab my book?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." That's funny. That's funny.
Speaking of that midnight meeting,
Yeah.
real quick, coming up on Christmas Eve, it's still happening?
We're doing a marathon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna have the midnight, you cheering?
Oh, of course. Both Christmas and, you know, from as well the 1 o'clock meeting, 1 p.m. meeting on the 24th.
Yeah.
Right.
Until the following day, until that meeting ends.
Mm.
It's going to be 25 hours straight, and then the same for Christmas Eve.
Marathon
New
meetings.
Year's Eve. New Year's Day.
That's the pit
25 hours.
in Bayshore.
Yeah.
What was I going to say, Brandon?
So what did you say to stay sober, my friend?
I went to 1 o'clock pit.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
went to the 1 o'clock bed.
Of course. What else is new?
And,
Worked.
you know, we take care of it. I worked in the morning.
Of course.
And then, you know, I was like working so much that I didn't want to shower yesterday.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shower.
That's a good
Wow, that's a great
And
idea.
I ended up being late to the meeting. You know,
You were clean.
I was late to the meeting.
You were clean and late.
Yeah, I was clean on it, yeah. And then,
Yeah. You gotta take care of yourself.
you know, I was hanging out with some friends. We went to the diner afterwards.
Fellowship.
Yeah, we went to the diner and then
Other people in recovery. You mean with friends from recovery? Like,
friends from recovery. Right after the
Right after
meeting.
the-
Right
oh.
after the meeting. The
Transition
meeting to the
to-
diner.
The meeting after the meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The meeting after the meeting.
And then
that's a real meeting.
I ended up going to BJ's with people in recovery.
There you go.
And then now
So we're
here.
not a club lock.
You know what I mean?
We're pretty cool to hang out.
Yeah.
I literally said, I saw him while we were all together last night at, what the hell did we go? Oh, Home for Dinner.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
And then last night I saw Brandon. I'm like, "Hey, you want to do the show tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, be a mass 5:30. I open my door 5:30. He's on the couch. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Brandon?
Hey, man.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. Like I said,
And no car, so there's no excuse.
no, not at all, not at all. Tired, this,
no
that.
car for 2.5 years, still staying sober, still doing it, being able to read with guys, getting involved. And that's what
Yeah.
I stress at everybody.
Do you sponsor a lot of people?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Like, yo, I probably cracked open a book with like 50 to 60 guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it was just like, I was just like, all right, man. I'm still here.
With a lowest sustainability.
See,
We'll be in meetings and like when they like start sharing like how it works and everything. I just see him just memorizing the entire thing word for word.
Oh, he says everything at a meeting.
Yeah.
Mouth it.
Mouths it. Yeah.
We keep him. We like him.
It's funny if a certain person is like gonna do like the secretary report or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd pretend I'm saying their name. I'm just like say what they're gonna say.
We were talking in the car on the way here, so I was at a meeting last night, and I had this conversation with actually Jack last night. Since Jack's been on the show, we can talk about that. Talk about him anyway. So
We can talk about realism.
exactly. It's weird. So at the meeting, somebody had a lot of time, and they shared, and they're like so angry still. So I was just like, wow, just like life's beating them up still.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, wow. So I'm in the truck with Jack in the car ride home with Jack last night. I'm like, what? He never did the steps, and I'm just like, well, here's what I don't get, and this is the opposite of you. That's why I'm bringing this whole story up. What if you're not gonna change the way you act in life?
Yeah.
Like be a better person, or not be upset about things, or let things go and live life a little more freely in your mindset. What the fuck is the point? If you're gonna be miserable sober, might as well. I would rather, if you're gonna be alone and isolate and bitch about everything and it's everybody's fault still, then I would fucking drink. What's the point? Why be miserable and sober?
I was always excited to get into the steps for that reason, because I was like, when I've learned in recovery is that drugs and alcohol aren't the problem. I'm the problem. I was using drugs and alcohol as the solution.
And when this person was sharing, he said that. He said, I blame everyone, and I know it's me.
Yeah.
But still, he's not.
People aren't ready to.
He doesn't have a plateau. He never got to that level.
And he had years.
That's only happened.
It has years.
He has years. Yeah.
Whereas you are always in a good mood, and when you share, it's always. We were talking in the car, like you'll just start a share, like some bananas, and then I'm like, fuck this guy, but you'll bring the whole thing back, and we're just like bananas, man. Oh shit, he came back to the bananas, you know what I mean? But you always like bring like you always have something good to share.
Yeah.
You always find something in every speaker.
He does, yes.
Always, you're like, oh man, you said this. And you always, it's amazing. And like I said, I'm going to be 50. Took me this long to even get where I am. I'm nowhere near where you are. And I'm like, wow, what a fucking waste of time I wasted this whole time. And it's like, you're like right there, like, no, my life's going to be great now because of this. You know what I mean? By the time you're my age, it's, 30 years from now. God damn it. You're going to accomplish so much because of you recognizing what you did this early. You know what I mean? And it's got to be, that's why it's important. That's why I wanted you here, because I want other people your age to see that.
Absolutely.
Because time goes like this, dude. I'm telling you.
I couldn't get it at your age, man. I had to suffer another almost 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
No, what?
When he was talking about, he was talking about like fear of missing out.
FOMOs.
And it's like,
FOMO.
if you hang around the rooms long enough, and you like, go through the work and continue to do the work, and you sit down and you really pay attention, like, it's way more entertaining than drinking alcohol.
Oh, of course.
It's like the most entertaining
course.
thing. And the thing is, I don't have to be caught up in drama either to be entertained in the rooms. I'm just sitting there and I'm just like,
These people are shot.
this is crazy. So it's like,
all walks of life, man.
and the thing is, it's like I'm not really missing nothing in the rooms. I'm like witnessing, especially like nowadays, a bunch of young people are coming into.
You're witnessing
all the time.
miracles.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And even the older guys too. Like I just see them change. Like it's like crazy. The miracles, yeah, exactly. Or you know who I really identify with more sometimes than like the people my age? Because sometimes I deal with people my age. I don't want to like dance and go to.
Well, Brandon, you're an old soul, my friend. You're a very old soul.
The 70s hippie.
The guys have been like in and out for years, and going to rehabs and sober houses for like years and years and years and years. Like, you know, when I was first around the rooms and I was talking to them, they were like, yo, I haven't had a car in like et cetera amount of time. You know, I haven't had a job in et cetera amount of time because they were just constantly in rehabs and sober houses.
Right, right.
And it's like I'm coming in without any of those things. And there was
Well,
this instant like
That's what you know. For me, it's one of the many things that I like. For me, I've learned is, you know, my whole life I'm like, oh, that's not gonna be me. That'll never be me. That'll
Yeah.
never, like
Yeah.
denial. And then when you start to get honest with yourself, you're like, holy crap, that is me.
It's already
I'm
me.
identified.
Right.
That is me.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my wife. I'm going to lose my house. I'm
Yeah.
going to. And when you get honest enough to admit that you are going to, when you come in the room and you see the guy like you were just saying, who's, you know, he had 6 months, he went back out. He had a year, he went back out. He had 3 months, he went back out. And that guy who, you know, 20 years of doing this still has nothing but the clothes on his back. That's going to be me.
Mhm.
The only difference between him and me is I surrendered, and that was it. I surrendered. I had to put the drink down. I surrendered and said, I'm the problem.
Right.
The alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, because that's going to be any one of us. We don't.
Yeah.
All of us. We're only one
That's-
arm's length away from that drink.
Yeah.
We can all get caught back up into that vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
You know, but that's why we identify. That's why when Charlie was saying how you can always relate and speak when like someone is speaking. That's we
Mhm.
have to identify with these people.
Correct,
We
correct.
don't compare. We identify.
And that's what a big thing was. I'll keep it on me. What the steps did for me was stop playing that victim fucking mentality.
There you go.
It was on me. It's always been on me, and I'm the only one who can change that.
Stop
that's-
living in fear.
Exactly.
Don't be scared. One day, wake up. You're gonna be 70 years old, and you can be like, "Wow, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have."
Exactly,
I was
yeah.
too damn scared to. I was too damn scared to try.
Mhm.
I lived like I was too cowardly.
Mhm.
I was scared of failure,
Mhm.
and I couldn't handle the fear of failure. You know, and we have to try, man. If you're not failing, you're not trying. You have to keep.
Correct,
going.
correct.
You know, we are men worthy of love and respect, as my sponsor would always
Yeah.
tell me. And you know, you keep your head up
Well,
high,
what's
you're
the
still
fear,
man.
what's the cliche for the fear? Fear everything and recover,
No, face everything.
or face everything. Oh yeah,
Face everything. and
face
recover.
everything and recover.
You got the false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I never heard that one.
False evidence appearing real.
Oh,
Oh, look at
I
that.
like that. That's a good
Faith
one.
over fear, right?
Always keep the faith. Baby. Keep the faith right there.
Keep the
My
faith.
sponsor there, something. Keep the faith. Faith over fear.
You know what's funny? You were talking about my dad, right? And like how
No, you are.
Yeah,
Well, no, he asked me a question. He asked me a question. And,
Tell me about your dad.
no, you were saying something like how did I get comfortable with the fact that he like drinks?
Mhm.
right.
You know, and that when I go to hang out with him, you know, one day I was just like, you know, when my dad drinks, I'm just gonna do my recovery. Right? I had a good time in recovery, and you know, I was good for a while. And one day, this is recent too. It's not that long ago. One day he came up to me. He was like, "Yo, I'm thinking about stopping drinking." You know.
So now you planted a seed.
And then he had like I don't know, like 2 or 3 days. You know. and
Okay.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, that's. I got into it, and then I noticed I was like, this is my dad though. I can't, like, I can tell him what's up, but he's already seen, like, what's happened to me,
Right.
and it's like he used to drink with me too. I was like, I don't know how to plant another seed by myself right now.
Ask him to drop you off at your meeting.
Yeah.
Because your meeting they do a double header.
Okay.
The meeting that him and George are starting over in Bayshore, Brentwood, I don't know what that's considered. It's a Spanish meeting, a Spanish speaking meeting from 7 o'clock to right. 7.
It's like it's
So the guys there were like, because these guys are young and they're bilingual, and they were like, hey, why don't you bring some? Because again, like you were saying, there's there's a lot more younger people out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stuff. So that's what I really gave them the. So if you bring your pops to something like that, say, hey, Dad, come. Oh, you know, and then he's there.
Yeah,
And he can relate more to those guys because they're the older crew, and you know what I'm saying.
I've asked my
We
dad
can
to go to a million meetings.
Don't
You know, I've asked him to go to a million meetings.
ask him. I'm actually gonna drop.
So I was just like, I'm done. I'm not asking him nothing.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I stopped doing that, and then he came to me about it, and I didn't know what to do. So I ended up calling my family member that brought me in. You know?
Oh,
And
okay.
I had him talking
I
with
get
him.
what John's saying in a way, though. I get what John's saying. Have him bring you, and then when you pull up, you're like, you want to check it? You know, I get what he's getting
I
at.
don't have a car. He's
Yeah.
brought me to.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's been to my anniversary. He knows
Well,
what's
that's
up.
how I was
Yeah.
saying. Like, he
Okay.
his father. I mean, I don't know.
He's a good dude. I
He's-
love my
he's
dad.
really cool,
He's a
dude.
really cool guy.
Didn't we
yeah.
meet? Were you with?
He was
Oh, I was with
at
Jack. I met your father at the
He
parade.
gave me my, yo.
He gave you his 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I was
yeah,
there
he
for
did.
that. Was it? No, not
No,
1
that was
year.
his 1 year coin.
I met your father at the parade.
Yeah,
with
he
Jack.
did, yes.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
My dad actually gave me my 1 year coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he was like, you know, my son doesn't drink anymore, but I still drink.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, I saw him. His
Couple
eyes
seats
were
to the
going
wind.
like this, bro. His eyes were
Wait.
going
So
like
who?
this.
Didn't he come to your 2 year?
No.
No,
No.
2 years at 1 year.
Oh. Okay.
But then, you know, so when he told me he wanted to stop and call my cousin, I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna try this. And then I thought it was gonna bother me if he started drinking again.
Right.
Like in my head, I was like, this is gonna start kicking up stuff again. And you know, I think it's just like he said it. You know, I'm just reading guys. I'm just doing what we do here. I just go to the meetings.
But you can't push anyone. If the big book says we don't push it, we can waste a later opportunity. We don't. You know.
Yeah, we don't force nobody.
Yeah.
And I go to my dad's house one day, right? And this is like a week after he told me he wanted to stop. And I'm talking to him, I'm telling him about work, telling him about my life or whatever, he's telling me about his life. And like, I was talking to him for like 10 minutes. And he had a drink in his hand. And I didn't even notice until 10 minutes after. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Oh wait, he's drinking.
I was like, this, yeah, but like for me, it just wasn't even, I was talking to him for 10 minutes straight and it wasn't even a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh man, this was not like this when I first started coming around.
Mm.
So it's like, it was like that, oh man, like this is working. You know?
The
It's
obsession's been
amazing.
lifted.
Yeah,
It is amazing how you handle that. I don't know. If I was that, yeah, that's rough. That's crazy. That's awesome. Actually, it's awesome.
So just spiritually fit.
Yeah, we can go anywhere. Well, a few weeks ago, you know where I went? I went to a wine outlet
Oh, there you go.
with my mother and my sister. They wanted to get wine for Christmas, and I walked around, looked at all the bottles.
They have outlets.
It's like a wine outlet. It was huge. It was crazy.
Yeah, Charles like,
Wine and spirits. I forget what the hell it's called. Yeah, but dude, it doesn't even faze me.
Well, you hold it in your house, right?
me?
Yeah, for like guests and stuff.
Liquor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
I get
That
you
obsession
can't-
for me has
you
been
can't-
lifted.
contractors, they give you
Yeah.
bottles, especially this time of year. They give you bottles of liquor.
Yeah.
They give Johnny Walker Blue. And they give you
But see,
liquor.
I can
I
only
don't
say
even
that
like-
too is because alcohol really wasn't my go-to. It starts with alcohol for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I walk into a room and I see like cocaine, I might have to get the fuck up.
I usually don't walk into a cocaine.
You get those cocaine stories going on around here?
Or I can identify that with kratom then because I see
There you
kratom all
go,
the
yeah.
time.
But again, like how you look at, I don't see alcohol. I
Yeah.
have a bottle of, again, I don't know. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
You know,
Over the summer, I was heading
you know,
here.
My wife
Yeah.
is not, it's
Yeah.
hard to-
Can you stop by the liquor store and grab us
Yeah.
a mixer? I'm like,
That's
I
what
guess so.
I don't do that. That's how I try to tell. Like, you can do
Whatever you want.
whatever you want. I accept the fact.
And your motives are pure.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. What's that word? Like, I used to be jealous.
Hmm.
You know, they say it's the book says it, the worst human emotion is jealousy. I used to be jealous, like, and I think that was one of the hardest things to make me cross that line and say that I am an alcoholic. Was I can do anything.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I can do anything I want to do.
Right,
So
of
if he can
course.
drink, I can drink.
Yeah,
If
well-
you can do, I can do.
Yeah.
And then I had to come to the realization that there are things in life that I can't do.
Well, you went through that with me too. When I went to my sister's wedding, and my girlfriend's a normie; she can
Mhm.
drink. So, and you hit it on that. You know, you're like, it's jealousy. It stems from jealousy because you can't, and I guess it does.
Yeah,
Part
they
of that
can't do it. I've accepted.
Yeah.
That's step one. I've accepted what I am.
Yeah.
This is what I am. Just like I don't.
Being in the car business, I was telling John last night, being in the car business, now around this time, like anytime you sell a car, especially,
Oh,
prior
gifts,
years,
right?
People are like, oh, I'll take some. I'll pick up the car Monday. Oh, what do you drink, by the way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get that a lot, and I'm just like,
And then when you say, "Oh, but I don't drink," and then do they go, "You don't drink?"
Well, I actually just say, it's funny. We had this conversation later. I actually just
What do
say,
you don't drink?
I'm in recovery. Oh, really? That's crazy. That's cool. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, it is more accepted now.
Well, alcohol is the only drug because it's considered a drug that you have to give an explanation as to why you don't want it.
Correct. I think
You don't want a bag of dope?
Yeah.
No. I think.
What?
It's fucking crazy.
Well, they don't share anyway.
Pod is getting like that too.
I was just about to say, oh, you don't smoke weed? Oh, you want some? You don't smoke weed? It is getting that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that, but no, thank you. You know, oh, you don't, I don't drink. You know, oh, really? Oh, I'm in recovery. Yeah, it's a normal. I don't know, man. I look at it and it's such a different light. I've drank so much in my life that I really don't fucking want to drink anymore. I just don't.
And you know what it's going to lead to.
Yeah, I just don't. And everything is so much better now.
Like,
That's it. So much better. My life is better.
I went out, this was a few months ago. I went out for that brunch in Brooklyn, and somebody's like, well, they knew I don't drink. They're like, do you want a mocktail? I'm like, first of all, what the fuck's a mocktail?
Yeah.
And like, oh, it's it's a drink, doesn't have alcohol. But to me, I'm like, what the fuck is the point? What am I going to sit here and fake it for? You know, I never.
They're really fruity. They taste
Oh my god! I just never like. That's like I feel like that's like when people drink the Heineken Zero.
Oh,
You're teasing. You're teasing.
Zero. None.
You're teasing yourself though. You're tasting Heineken. There's no alcohol.
What is that drink called?
Heineken Zero.
No, but what is it called? It's a general.
Oh, it's a non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic beverage.
Right, so non-alcoholic drinking.
We're
alcoholics. We don't drink that.
That's true. I legit succumbed to that.
Yeah.
I succumbed to that Heineken Zero thing.
For non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I did that for a while.
How'd that work out for you?
The Heineken Zero didn't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that at a bar.
I was
doing that at a
dating
bar.
someone at a bar, and I would be like, all right, I'll go up to the bar, eat dinner. I'll have a Heineken Zero. I did it for months, and then finally I'm like, the fuck? I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I don't drink beer, so this will be cool. My mentality is how stupid it was. It was a bar that I hung out with at all the time. So I'm around all these asshats that have been miserable for 15 fucking years. Their kids suck, their wife sucks, this sucks, that sucks. So I'm missing out seeing these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I'll go to the bar. At least I'll have a beer in front of me. It look like I am drinking. That was my mentality. And then I finally, drank again. Because I was like, I don't even like fucking beer. And it just tastes like Heineken. Heineken sucks. And then beyond that, it was like, I want to get drunk because I can't listen to the same fucking story from this jackass over and over and over again. And then finally,
I love you, man.
Yeah, and then finally I'm like, yeah, dude, you remember last summer when that was yesterday, bro. But like, I was like, I gotta stop going there. That's the problem. It's not fuck the Heineken. And when I tell you, I was drinking a case of that every 2 days. I'd come home from work, boom, 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 like drinking like it was soda.
Do you think it would give you like a placebo effect?
I don't know what ended up happening, but I was literally hooked on those.
Really?
Hooked on those. Like I needed to have that when I came home. I remember, I shouldn't even say this, but I was on probation. And my probation officer showed up.
On probation.
Yeah.
That's weird.
My probation officer showed up, and I literally just went upstairs. I got a burger from a place I brought home. I was in my living room. I lived by myself. I just cracked the Heineken Zero. I had like a drop left in the bottle, and my doorbell rang, and it was my probation officer. And I went down to the door, and she's like, Are you drinking? And I'm like, nope. And then she's like, I smell it on you. I'm like, lady, I'm not drinking. So I'm telling you, I'm not drinking. She gave me a breathalyzer with 0. And she was like, something's not right or whatever. So she came upstairs to my living room and she saw the bottle on the thing. She's like, what is it? You are drinking. I'm like, this is 0. She's like, you're not supposed to drink this. I'm like, oh, now you're gonna tell me I can't drink something that doesn't have alcohol in it? Can I have some water, man?
Gatorade Zero?
Right. Like, so I was like an asshole to her about it.
Of course.
Like, oh, now you're gonna fucking tell? Oh, what? I can't have water? You gonna tell me I can't have water now? Like, so she was like, well, all right. I don't think it's a good idea. And I'm like, well, you can take your suggestion. Are we done here, ma'am? Take care. But like that, I did go back from drinking those. It was stupid. And
They're expensive.
all right, so here's another thing. A 12-pack of those was $39.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So I was going to a beer distributor, and it was $39. And I remember that because I used to get them at the bar, and they were a little bit more money. It was like $6, $7, right? And I'm like, maybe because they don't order a lot of them. Who the fuck orders zeros at a bar?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe they don't have a lot. That's why they're more expensive for the bar. You know what I mean? Because the Heineken's like $2, $3, whatever. For. So anyway, I go to the beer distributor to buy them. Guy's like $39. I'm like, no, I just got the one. He's like, yeah, it's $39. I'm like, how much is Heineken? And he was like $19.99. I go, so wait, flavored water, $20 more than fucking the shit that's gonna get me drunk? That doesn't make any sense. But however, I was told, however they manufacture it, that it's more money, whatever. But I would never suggest doing any of that. And it's funny, I follow a lot of sobriety groups online, and that's the number one thing. A lot of guys say, well, I drink Budweiser Zero or Heineken Zero.
Oh, they made all different ones?
Oh, now everyone has one.
Oh,
Now everyone has
That's
one.
in a different class too, because remember O'Doul's? That shit still had a little bit of
O'Doul,
fucking alcohol.
that was the thing.
yeah.
O'Doul's has 0.5 in it.
Yeah.
Listen, you'd have to slug 12 O'Doul's in 10 minutes and you get a little buzz, I guess, because there's a drop.
Yeah.
These zeros legit have
Nothing,
not a
yeah.
drop of it in it. You could drink 100 of them.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
So-
That's what you fantasize. Not a
That's
good
what I'm saying. You're still.
But so now Budweiser's making it. I know Miller makes one. So basically, it's like, hey, you're an alcoholic. All right, well, you can still drink your favorite beer, but you won't, But now it's zero. You're never gonna get away with that.
Thank you. My mentality was
Right.
never like, this is delicious.
I love Budweiser.
You know?
Nobody likes Budweiser.
I used to drink those Long Island iced teas, not because I fucking enjoyed them, because it was a
seven
little.
different liquors.
Yeah.
No, I gotta be honest. I love the taste of
But you
fucking
just-
warm.
Those were instant blackouts.
I love the taste of piss warm vodka. I don't
Oh,
care.
God, you're an alcoholic.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mess with any of those. That to me is just, dude. If you have to ask, can I drink that, dude? Just put your hands up, surrender, stop.
I don't see how you're
I
gonna
mess
get
with you all
through
the
it.
time, every time I'm in the vape joint.
I know. Trust me. I know.
Yo, this thing's called Adol. It's all natural.
Yes.
You'd be like, so is your kratom, and hang
I'm not gonna lie. I did look at those adults the first time I saw them. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But
Natural energy.
not a good idea. Not a good idea.
What do you think of that stuff?
No.
It's all crap. Right?
You know, you look like Super Mario.
It's me.
I've been hearing it all.
It's the red. It's the red shirt. Nice.
Brad is doing his due. Yeah, man. Who are you reading with lately? Anyone new?
You have you have any new guys that you've been reading with?
New guys?
Yeah.
Right now, I got like my people that I read with that I don't sponsor.
Okay.
But right now, to be honest with you, I only have one sponsee.
Right now. Okay.
Right now.
All right. So.
Sure.
Right now, because I go through the phase where like they stick and they're doing it, and then I go through the phase where I lose all of them, and then I gotta search for more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right now, I'm not. Hopefully, the guy I have right now, hopefully God has him and he stays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Look at you.
And
It's not me.
well, I like to have a guy with me because I know I'm gonna stay sober.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, hopefully, God has this guy and he stays. You know, and but like right now, it's just like I don't even know what's going on. Some of them are not calling me, and it's just like, all right, it's on to the next guy. You know?
So that's what I want to bring up, because now, Hawk's my sponsor. John Hawk is my sponsor.
John.
So like one thing is like now going into kind of like sponsorship, right? Because I haven't sponsored anyone.
Yeah.
Start approaching the newcomer more. and I, to be honest, don't know.
Oh shit!
Right? So listen to this. So we're at your journey begins. So like in the beginning, this is what I want to ask you. Jack's like, yo, is a new guy here?
Don't call anybody out though. We got.
No, I'm not. Go talk to him. Go talk to him. I'm like, dude, he ran out of the meeting. Go get him. We're not gonna run down the block, right? So whatever. He was at the end of the driveway, so I approached him.
Okay.
And I started talking. And this guy, no names, but like was in a bad place, man, like suicidal. Like he just didn't want it no more. He just, and I've been there before. So I was like, I have something to offer. And I didn't press him. I just said, yo, you should just like take my number down. If you need me, I'm there anytime. And he was just like, bro, I'm not going to call you. And I got so fucking, I'm like, I want to be, go fucking kill yourself, motherfucker. like, dude, I got like a resentment toward it. I'm like, here, like, go figure. The first time I tried this, and this guy's like, dude, I'm not going to call you. Completely, like, dude, I took it so personal.
Get used to it.
That I got. That's what I wanted to ask you, man. You can't take the shit personal, right?
We're all sick.
Dude, I got a resentment towards him, a resentment towards Jack. I had to run and go find you. I was like,
Fucking Jack's out there.
dude, I'm like, but
It's not all sick on the same day, right?
you got to just keep it on you, and you did your part to help, and that's it, right? How do you go about that?
If you think about it, when it comes to reading with a new guy,
Yeah.
like logically,
Yeah.
that's a dangerous situation, right? And like, there's been so many times that like I've been reading with guys, and I'm like, this is like, am I gonna be okay? Like there's this one time, I go to this meeting. It was actually when I thought I was gonna drink again.
Yeah.
I was outside of a meeting, and there was a liquor store, and I'm listening to like the old rock and roll I used to listen to, or whatever. I'm looking at this liquor store, and I go into the meeting instead of I'm just gonna go to the meeting, and I go to the meeting, and there's this kid that I see that's in and out all the time, and I'm like, yo. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, yo, I almost died. He's like, shot dope. I almost died. It's crazy. I was like, yo, I was just about to drink. He was like, don't. It's terrible. And then,
Oh, man.
At this point, it's like the middle of July or like June or something. And I'm chairing my meeting, and he wanted to meet up and read. He was down or whatever. So I get on.
Wait. I'm sorry. You were gonna drink before a meeting that you were going to chair?
No.
Oh.
This was last night. It was like a Friday, I think.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You were really on the ledge there. All right, okay, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm ready.
So
Do I chair this
I tell
meeting?
this guy, I chair a meeting on Saturdays at the pit.
Right.
And what's it called? Right after I jump on the train, I go over to this guy lives, his hometown or whatever. With my big book and my highlighters, whatever.
Highlighters. Got my pen.
So I go up and I meet this guy, and I'm waiting for him. We're gonna meet like near the train station, and I see this guy in the middle of like June or July, like with a black beanie, black long sleeve shirt, black pants, black sneakers, and a skateboard.
Black coat, black
And I'm like, I'm looking at this guy, and I'm
Yeah.
like I said, I was like, yo, this doesn't look safe anymore. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, depending on the train station.
Somebody was ready to cop. You know what I mean? And, we go, we get like a milkshake, whatever, eat breakfast. And then he's talking about reading.
Yeah, that took a turn.
We got a milkshake and some breakfast.
I was in a rough spot. I was thinking about drinking at the time. Like I was on the
Right, I
ledge,
got you.
And I end up I'm eating breakfast with this guy, and this guy's like, "Yo, do you want to go to the city?" Right? And in my head, I was like, "This guy definitely wants to cop." And then like, I'm so like insane that I was like, because sometimes it's better to go with two guys than one. You know what I mean? I'm so insane that I was like, well, maybe I'll get on the train with the guy. And we'll read the book on the train, and maybe by the time we land in New York, he doesn't want to cop.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
And then I think he knew what was up. Like, I think he knew that's where that was going to go.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
And then we go to the lake or whatever, or the river, whatever's there, and we read the book, and, we read, like, maybe, like, 2 sentences, and in the middle of it, he just goes like this, closes the book. And I'm like, I guess that's the end of that. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Lord. I'll be seeing you in 2 seconds.
So it's like, yeah, like
And it closes with we version of Serenity Prayer.
it happens all the
All
time.
the time,
But
man.
at the end of it, it's like I'm still here.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I've never worked with a guy that's been through the steps and continued to stay.
Mhm.
But it's in the hopes that, like, they get this, like what's going on right now.
Absolutely.
What happens in the meeting, seeing the miracles
Yeah.
of people. Like, it used to be like, I'm going to get this guy sober, and then I would cop resentment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
then
yeah.
it would be like, yo, I gotta read with somebody right now. I don't really care about them. I just need to read so I stay sober. I don't really care if they get drunk or not.
Yeah.
You know? And then it just was like, I'm just gonna do this because I like to do this now.
Hmm.
And this experience is beautiful. And hopefully they get to experience the same thing.
Mhm.
And I get to stay sober.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's that paradox. that
So
you
it's
talk
like-
about, right, of get, you know, you have to give in order to receive.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
It's cool, man.
And one quick thing I want to, because we're getting tight on time, but we were speaking about earlier too. It's funny everyone. This is why it's important to continue to go to meetings and continue to speak to other people and finding the right sponsor. Because we were talking about people. I'm not gonna name names or whatever, but we were like, yeah, I would never ask him to sponsor me. Meanwhile, that person sponsors a bunch of people.
Mm.
Or I wouldn't, or I wouldn't have him sponsor me, whatnot. It's very important. I mean, I don't want people to feel discouraged. I had a sponsor before too. I wasn't ready, but I had a guy that was gung ho in my face. Hey, are you new? Chased me out of a meeting, and I was definitely new. Everyone came up to me, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is everyone introducing themselves? Who is this guy?" Like,
What does he want?
chased me out. His name happened to be John. His last name was not Hawk though.
Oh, okay.
But he chased me out of the meeting. Like, hey
Anonymous.
man, you were new at this, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, you got a sponsor? No. Take my number. I want you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And at the time I didn't know what the hell it really meant. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, so if I feel like a piece of shit, I just got to call this guy. Like, that's all I thought it was, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it turned out like he was calling me more than I was calling him. And it annoyed the shit out of me. And I think I caught a resentment towards AA because of that. Like, this guy chased me out of a fucking meeting. Like, does he have no friends or something? And then it was like weird. He was calling me, telling me his problems. If I knew that guy now, which I haven't seen him this go around going to AA meetings and stuff, but I would talk to the guy, and now I understand it. Like, he needs you just as much as you need him. So how selfish of me, like, I'm supposed to call him with my problems. Why is he fucking calling me with his? Fuck him. I don't want to hear about it.
The whole sponsorship thing, people do take it very personal. Like, the first few months, this time going around, I was in NA.
Right.
And I did, how long? 3-4 months in NA, dude. And I wanted to get into the work. And NA step work is fucking insanely long. And every time I asked my sponsor at the time, like, dude, I want to get into work. Oh, come to this meeting a half hour before. We'll read a half hour. Meanwhile, the first time I asked this guy, I sat with him for 5 hours. So I was completely miserable. When I told that guy, listen, I'm just going to head in a different direction. Dude, this guy blocked my number, blocked me on Facebook. Completely, yeah. I'm not going to say his name, but
No,
completely caught a resent. I noticed I was like this because I wanted to see how he was doing.
Maybe he's not ready to be a
He's
sponsor.
got 6 years.
Oh, wow.
He's got
That's
6 years old.
I don't know what to
Clean
say.
now. He's in
Time means nothing.
But I'm just,
But that's what I'm saying. With
exactly.
the work that I did with this man, bro, within a few weeks, I was a totally different person. Because it was getting to the point where I'm either going to change something drastically or I'm going to go back out. That's where I was at.
We were doing a show during that.
We
I
were
remember
doing
that.
I'll tell you for one thing, and the one cool thing about like recovery world, there is not one person who does this perfect. Everyone's got their interpretation. It's just like you can hand, like I've said this before, like you can hand the Bible to 10 different sects of Christianity, and they'll all tell a different version.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And you can have, maybe this sponsor does this with this sponsor. Maybe it's however. For me, I do it the way my sponsor did it. With me, and that was we opened up the book and we read it, and as we were reading it, we identified. He helped me come to the realization. He helped me identify. He helped me realize like how was the word I'm looking for. I was able to identify with him, sharing his experience, strength, and hope as we read it together.
Yeah.
And that's what I find to be the most successful for me. I don't know, you know.
You have to find a sponsor that you click with. If it's not working out with one, you keep your options
Exactly.
open, and that's
Yeah, people-
that's a lot hard for people to do.
Yeah, if you were like, hey, dude, I'm going back here or just from
Yeah.
the swap fellowships. Joe, I still love you.
Of course.
My boy, whatever is going to help keep you sober. That's all. Bottom line, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Is you don't have to pick up anything.
Yeah.
Call me, my phone's always on. We still be,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off.
I just don't want people
It's not about me,
realizing
it's not my program. I didn't invent it.
the discouragement of that, because that is a big deal. Like
Yeah.
people, so that's why. Again, I mean, if we go back, I don't know if we even spoke about this, but you were friends with John,
Mhm.
and we were going to meetings. I met John a bunch of times, and I related to John as far as as a person.
Mhm.
Like, hey, this is a cool dude, and we bullshitted whatever. But you kept saying, asking me to be a sponsor, and I'm like, fuck. I was very hesitant because of the first time.
Because they're afraid.
I'm like,
yeah.
Is now all of a sudden this guy going to turn into a dick? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now all of a sudden I got to like do what he tells me all the time. Like, so, but it just clicked. Then one day I'm like, you know what? I talked to him. Let me ask him.
Yeah.
We'll go forward. Never pushy about things. And listen, there are people that need to be pushed because they're going to go back out, and everyone's different.
Mhm.
So I just feel like like John handles me differently than he handles you or whoever it might be,
Yeah.
and John might not be good for you, but you might not be good for me. You know what I mean? I just want people to realize, just hang with the right people, and that's it. You're not my sponsor, but I love hanging out with you. Jack's not my sponsor, but I like hanging out with Jack. It all helps.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So you'll find the right person as time goes on.
And if you're not satisfied with the man you originally, or woman that you originally asked to sponsor you, go ask someone else.
Yeah.
Because
Quickly.
no one should be offended. Like if
Yeah.
somebody, I had a guy that was like, they originally asked me, and then I was like, maybe like a week later, I was like, when are we gonna get to the big boys? I'm ready when you are, man. He was like, and then he called me, and he didn't call me for a week, and it was because when that's someone else would be.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not heartbroken. Like, I'm just
It's
trying
okay. Yeah, it's okay.
We're all just trying to survive.
Yeah.
This thing called alcoholism is just,
Yeah.
we're all just trying to live this thing called
Yeah, for your guy to catch resentment's kind
It
of
was crazy, right?
is odd.
You might want to write another 4-step.
Maybe he.
Dude,
I
it's
was
not the
gonna
first time
say,
I heard it. My buddy, Mikey Edibles, he had a sponsor who, dude, they almost fought at the meeting in the parking lot. Like the dude got so. I'm not.
so confused because he said
He told him, he's like, listen, I want to thank you for everything. Like, I found somebody else. And this guy got so fucking, dude, took it so personal. Like, they almost brawled out in the church parking lot.
that doesn't make
You know
any
what that's
sense.
called?
NA?
No,
I'm just kidding.
no.
I'm joking.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
called
Wow.
I'm
ego.
joking. I know.
That is your ego.
I still got a lot of
Like,
brothers.
oh,
Like, I got
you-
this guy sober.
I
Yeah,
got you
absolutely.
sober.
Yeah.
You didn't go, God got him.
Absolutely.
You just did what you were supposed to do.
Yes. And he went about it the right way because he had respect for the man. He's like, let me tell him face to face. Like, thank you for everything. And dude, he called me up. He's like, bro, I almost just fought this guy in the parking lot.
Listen,
I was like,
Yeah, I don't understand.
Jack is the longest guy that's stayed with me
yeah,
is Jack.
Jack.
He's the first guy that completed 12 steps with. Like again, I've had a bunch.
Yeah.
Jack was the first guy, and he's still here.
Yeah.
If he tomorrow, and I love Jack, but if he tomorrow was like, hey man, listen, I'm moving. First of all, if he was moving away somewhere, I would tell him.
You need a new sponsor. You need a new sponsor.
That's
You're
what-
on site.
That's where you were
You know?
for me before you became my sponsor. You were my spiritual advisor.
Someone that you could be like, hey, we're throwing ideas off. But you need to have that guy, and if he left, I wouldn't be offended. Like,
That's
if he
crazy,
found someone
right?
else
Understood,
that could
yeah.
put him on a level, or,
Yeah.
there were certain guys that just have a certain way about him. Maybe this guy is into the yoga, and
Yeah.
Or maybe you're in a new headspace and you're not. Now you like. I need someone on a different level
Yeah.
at this point.
Well, you hear that a lot.
I don't know.
You're on
I mean,
different planes.
You
And
do-
we're not all growing.
Yeah.
Some of us are just like, we made it to where we want to be.
Yeah.
We're content with that. And some of us want to keep growing.
Yeah.
like a guy with 30 years doesn't have the same
I was
sponsor.
just going to say, you hear that at meetings. Like, I had this sponsor for the first 7 years. I had this, now I
Right.
have this sponsor. You know?
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, for me, I would have never.
Well, obviously, but that's different.
Again, I just had a guy that.
Yeah.
Again, that's like Charlie was saying. When you find someone, dude, just go to meetings into an area near where you live. If you don't like that meeting, go to a different one. If you don't like the meeting, go to a different one. When you find a nice meeting you like, listen to the men in that meeting. And if there's someone that you could really like, wow, I really want what that guy has. Like, he's happy, he's not drinking, he's not drunk. Like, there's something about that guy that just seems
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
it just seems right.
Yep.
Do yourself a favor and ask him, swallow your pride, and ask that man to sponsor you. Hey, would you mind? Listen, do you have any free time? I'd love to get into the big book with you. He knows what you're asking.
Yeah.
He knows what you're asking.
I didn't read with you or do steps for a month or two in the beginning.
Probably
we
a
bullshitted.
month. Yeah, we just got to know each other.
Well, we read a little bit, preface and shit like that. But no step, not. I kept saying no, I'm not doing this. I kept saying I wasn't doing the steps.
Yeah.
And now we're on 12, I think.
Yeah,
right?
You're on 12?
Yeah, now we're
Are you on 12?
Yeah.
Now we're doing 12.
But yeah,
It's funny because like I always have a list of guys, or at least one hand, that like could sponsor me if something happened to my sponsor or if things didn't work out for some reason.
right,
Like I always had, like he's one of them.
right, of
It
course.
wasn't always like that. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. I get it.
Because I seen you change too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
crazy because I remember. No,
I growing up in age.
No, because I remember like when I first met you, there was like this like very like roughness. That it was like I was just like, what this guy's gonna tell me what to do?
But he wasn't the quiet, shy guy like he is now.
No. It was like what he is now, but even more. You know what I mean?
I couldn't imagine. Especially when he was drinking.
You're crazy, man.
You got a dart in you
I
now.
look back all this time, what he was saying was right. You know what I mean?
Right.
To me, and when he was giving me advice, but there was this roughness, and at that time where I was at, I would have never asked
worked.
him to be my sponsor. Right? No, but that's the truth. No, that's the truth. But then nowadays, like as we
You grow
it's
to,
like,
yeah.
we've written fourths together.
Yeah, my last 4th and 5th was with Brandon. He 4th and 5th. He did his 4th and 5th with me again. You know, you go in every year, new level, new devil.
Yeah.
He had some things he wanted to go over. He wrote another 4th step out. You know, a little mini 4th. We got together. It's funny because I was like, I'm gonna write another one. And then this is how God works. And then and all of a sudden one night, Brandon calls me up and I'm like, dude, why don't you write another 4th step? Put that person down, and if there's anything else bothering you, let's put it on paper. That's what we did.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he had it all. He called you back like later on that night. I'm like, dude, this is a perfect. I'm like, no. This is a perfect opportunity. I have a couple of things that I want to write down. Let me write them down, and together we'll fist up together. We're gonna meet up soon. That's what we did. I wrote. Some stuff down. He had some stuff already written. We went into the parking lot, and we did what we did best. Sober men trying to stay sober and help each other out. Tears are flying, and that's what we do. That's what we do. We're there to help each other out, man.
Yep.
You know what was crazy too?
What?
My own problems in my head, like this big thing. You know, the same for him as well. You know?
Never is, though.
Yeah, and then-
Never is.
And then, he started looking at like my problems. And he was like, "Well, why don't you do this, and this?"
Right.
I looked at his, and I'm like, "But dude, what do you?" I'm like,
Why don't you just do
This
that?
is so weird. Pointing. We can go on tangents all night. I said something to Jack the other day. Like, you know what? You don't owe that person shit.
Yeah.
You've done enough. Like you don't realize you already made your amends and you've done enough. You keep doing. Why? And he was like, "Hey, you know what? You're right, but fuck that." But not fuck that. But he was like, "You're right. I don't know why I keep doing that." Meanwhile, I'm doing the same thing.
Write it on paper.
Yeah.
But and then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm actually doing the same shit with someone else. And it was like, it's always easy to figure it out from somebody else. And he's like, thanks. He said to me, thanks for pointing that out. Because you're right. I am going over and beyond for no silly reason with somebody. But it is weird because you definitely see it in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all do it with all of us do it with each other. Like, "Yo, you okay today?"
And your problems.
Yeah.
But my problems.
You can't
Yeah, but just even bumping in, like, "You all right today, John?"
Yeah.
You're off today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but you never notice it with yourself, which
Never,
is
yeah.
so odd.
Crazy, right?
But
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's the trouble with me?
no. And then, but when someone says it to you, you're like, I'm having a bad fucking day today. Like, now I think about it, this was on my mind today. Like, even if I don't voice it to the person, but you point out, like, hey, you all right today? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then now I'm in my head, like, I'm not fucking fine because this is bothering me.
Go back and
then you like
review my day. What happened?
Then
during
you
my day?
think it through or whatever. I don't know. I just, my whole thing is keeping life simple at this point. I don't want to get involved in minutia. Like, so my whole thing is like, I don't want to be involved in bullshit.
Yeah.
In bullshit. Sorry. So it's like, all right, this is fucked up. Just I had a stupid thing going on with just financially
Okay.
a week ago. And I know myself in the past, if I was in that position in the past, I'd be like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'd be calling people, yo, this is fucked up. I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And then finally I was just like, it'll work itself out. And the day it needed to work itself out, it worked itself out. That day. And I'm like, all right, so why stress over shit that you have no control over? You know what I mean? You can't stress over shit you don't have control. That's the way I look at it. So, but that's just me. I mean, some people handle things differently. But that's the big thing I changed within myself, and that's what helps me stay sober, because I'm like, this shit would have had me drinking, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it was. Now I don't even think about the drinking. I'm like, all right, I got to figure this out. I'm going to do this today. But again, we're going off, and we've been up for a while. Thank you very much for coming, Brandon. You were awesome. If anybody has any questions, you can email the show, call the show, text us, whatever.
One more time, marathon meetings where this weekend for Christmas Eve and Christmas?
Christmas Eve at the Pit in Bayshore starts. It starts at 1 a.m. 1 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and runs to 1 p.m. Christmas Day.
After that meeting, and it's 25 hours, so it's like when that meeting starts, it's
another one goes right in.
It just goes through the whole 25 hours, 24 hours to the next day's meeting, and then of course.
And we have people cheering all 25. Oh, it's all set up.
Well, I think there's a couple of slots open, but generally the doors stay open and
just in and out, in and out.
You walk down and there's no one in it. You just sit on that chair and take the chair.
Okay, and we're doing the same thing for New Year's Eve, 1 p.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the midnight, so I'll be at both midnights.
Cool.
And you're doing.
I'm coming to the midnight on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
And you're doing you're going to start your meeting to. Well, we'll see. Well, we see you all the time anyway, but you're going to be doing.
Cured.
Well, no, I'm gonna be doing the 10 a.m. before the marathon even starts.
The same day.
Yeah,
Okay.
the same day, and then
You do a 10 a.m. at the Pit every Saturday.
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
He does at 10 a.m. and then I do the midnight.
Well, that we know. We always do your midnight Saturday.
Because we're cool like that.
And I'm gonna do 10 a.m. Sunday too.
Why not?
Okay, cool. All right.
What you need to do is you need to put like a sponsor thing up here. Like, hey, like the networks, Ritz crackers, like.
Yeah, we got it. Well, we'll start when we have video. I'll be able to run a. I got a lot of things going on. We'll
This
figure this out.
episode-
Trust me, we'll figure it out.
Go to meetings.
This episode is sponsored by Gentleman Jacks.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think my wife.
I'll see you boys later.
All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
Bye-bye.